I'm exhausted. That's it. I'd happily go home to bed. I don't know about jokes. Jokes are not the same thing as being funny. You know, most people use jokes as like a defense mechanism to keep people away. The first friend I had in this country, I came in 1964 on a boat, and yeah, I'm a real immigrant. And I met this guy, Gary Brenner, and he was the lighting guy, the guy who did the lights of the Cafe Au Go-Go in Greenwich Village, which was my first paying gig. And he was from Teaneck, New Jersey, and he was a lovely guy who just adored pizza and was stunned to discover that I had never eaten pizza. Which was shocked. Wow. And so he immediately took me out and bought me my first slice of pizza. And, you know, that was the, you know, friendly, kind, big, but he was addicted to telling jokes. So that's basically all I ever knew about him, was that he liked pizza. I mean, if you said, "Hey Gary, how you doing?" He'd go, "You hear about the guy who went to the psychiatrist, dressed only in saran wrapped shorts, and the shrink looked at him and said, 'I can clearly see your nuts.'" But that was it. Funny is something different. Funny is what happens in the world around you. The other night, my wife Jenny said to me, "What's on the TV?" Now, I probably shouldn't have said dust. But it just seemed like it was funny at the time, you know. Of course, I compounded my error by going out the next day and trying to buy some camouflage pants, and I couldn't find any. All right, that's a joke. But what is this? Today, I was complimented on my driving. I'm in a play at Road Machine, El Nino. This is shameless joke promotion, and it's a terrific play. And so today I had a matinee, and as I say, I was complimented on my driving because after the matinee I went back to get my car, and on the windscreen someone had left me a note, and it said "parking fine." That's nice. And that ability to find humor around you, that's a blessing, but also at times a curse. 48 years ago, I was married to somebody else, and she was pregnant, and we went to a birthing class, which is a sort of minefield for men. And we were in this class, we're doing breathing exercises, and then the woman who's running the class turns to all the men and says, "Well, guys, you know, what do you think you would learn if men gave birth?" And I was immediately suspicious, because this is like a female ambush question. No matter how you answer it, you'll be wrong. And while I'm thinking this, the guy next to me goes, "Well, you know, I will be able to experience the pain that women have and have always experienced throughout the ages." And all the women in the room looked at him with that look of female appreciation that sort of sits somewhere between, "Whoa, look at the quarterback," and "Oh, what an adorable puppy." And I thought, damn, that could have been me. That wasn't such a great answer, you know? And before I could do anything else, the next guy says, "Well, you know, I could bond in a primeval way with my as yet unborn child." You know, and I think, oh, fuck, I'm toast. And the woman, sure enough, looks at me and she says, "Well, what would you learn if men could give birth?" And I said, "Well, at least I know it's mine." I mean, I'm in trouble automatically. And yet, these opportunities for humor, this is what saves us, most of us, you know. I imagine everybody in this room at one time or another has filled out an application, and somewhere in that application it says, "In case of emergency, notify," I always write, "a doctor." Because that's funny and it makes me feel good. I mean, that's a lot different from a guy waking up in a hospital bed after a serious accident and screaming, "Doctor, doctor, I can't feel my legs," and the doctor saying, "I know, we had to remove your arms." is a setup and a punchline. That's it. It's the sort of fast food of humor. A story is something different. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Which brings me back to Gary Brenner, the guy who loved pizza, and unfortunately loved it too much because last year he died of a heart attack. Yeah, I know. And I was by chance doing a play outside Philadelphia in Bucks County, and I got this email from his sister Sharon saying what had happened and telling me that the funeral was going to be the following Monday. And then she added this thing, which actually I did think was funny, which is that because of his love of pizza, Gary had stipulated in his will that he should be buried in a cardboard box. I thought, wow, that's great. So the following Monday, I'm standing in a cemetery, you know, and it's slightly raining, and there's a sort of gaggle of people there, and we're all mourning the loss of our friend Gary. And unfortunately, the undertakers were over a half-hour late. So they were forced to give us an extra dead body for free.